today's video wasn't supposed to be happening today. I had it planned. I was going to shoot it eventually, but I just hadn't got around to it. Working on other stuff, fan showdown, more fan showdown in the next episode. Actually, let me just show you this. Not to give too many, I don't want to drop it. Yep. Okay, whoops. Not to give out too many spoilers, but all this, actually the one I dropped, not part of this. All of these, this is for one fan, and it worked, surprisingly. Wow. So make sure to just subscribe if you want to see this in the next episode. It's coming, don't worry. But before that, we have to talk about this one again. Remember Thomas from the fan showdown? I think episode 5 made the Acceleron. We ran it in the fan showdown and it did very good. It literally almost beat the A12X25. And after that video went up, I asked you guys, do you want to see this fan printed in resin to see if it can kind of squeak out that last bit of performance? And non-surprisingly, more people voted on that than probably any other community tab thing I had, and the answer was yes. So that's what we did. We printed out another one. We're gonna test it today and see if it can beat the A12X25, which is actually running right there. I'm gonna run them both again today to see which one's better. This one was close the first time around. Does this hopefully better print, give it the performance boost it needs to beat it? But we've got to talk about the other thing first. Today I was kind of hanging out and I got an email to my my business email, my YouTube channel email, from a company that makes, what to say, they make computers. And they were asking about Mr. Thomas and his fan, and they told me that they were interested in maybe using this design in future products and want to talk to Mr. Thomas about his fan design to maybe license it from him to use in a future product that they might produce. And they asked me if I could give him Thomas's contact information, and I don't have it. So the problem is that the fan showdown Gmail account it's got a lot of messages in it. Normally when I pick a fan, print it out and use it on the show, I normally delete the email so I can kind of take that one out so I don't accidentally reuse it. And it also just lessens the amount of unread emails that's in there, and it just makes it easier to track. And I was like, no problem, I'll just go into the trash can and find it, and I cannot find it. It's gotten lost in the pile of emails that's in there. So I need you guys' help. Maybe Thomas is watching. Thomas, if you're watching, go to my YouTube channel, go to the About section. There's a business email that I normally only respond to business inquiries, but if you're watching, send me an email, and if you're interested in speaking to this company that's interested in your fan design, I'll put you guys in contact with each other, and maybe, if we're lucky, the rest of us will have a fan that we can actually buy. Because I know a lot of you guys like this, and you would say you would have bought it if it was an actual product. Well, it could possibly become one. Now, I don't want to overhype this because right now it's just talk. There's a company interested in licensing that design. Doesn't mean they're going to make it, but there's a chance, and that would be awesome. It would be cool to know that any of you guys that send me your fan designs to just put them on my YouTube channel to test them against the A12X25 has a chance of, if that design looks good and it performs well, that there's a company out there watching that might want to actually use that as one of their actual products. So that's just awesome. If you want to be involved in the fan showdown, get subscribed, check out the series. I think you'll like it. But for now, we'll just leave it at that. We need to find Mr. Thomas, so maybe if you know him, shout him out on Twitter. I don't know where he's at. Hopefully he's going to just watch us and send me an email, and I'll put those guys in touch, and maybe we'll have that fan to test on the channel. We can only hope. But today we're gonna look at this one compared to this one. So what's the difference here? Well, to be honest, the first time I printed this, I didn't do a stellar job. It's all right print. It's a little rough in places. Yeah, I mean, I could have done better. There's no sugarcoating that, but it didn't really matter because it still performed well, and the color of the filament was actually pretty cool too. But when you look at the one that came out of the resin printer, although it's not perfect, I'm still learning the ropes of the resin printer. It's a new beast. The quality is next level. You can even see on the hub here, where on the regular one just kind of looks like blobs. Those are actually design features that he put on the fan that are now perfectly clear. And when you look at the blades themselves, you would almost be convinced that this was injected molded, unless you got really close, because then you can kind of see the layers. They're there, but it's so smooth, even to the touch. And I'm hoping that that extra bit of smoothness will give this thing the performance or the boost it needs to beat the A12. So the A12X25 just finished the stress test, room temperature 20.6. Average temperature 79.8, giving us a delta of 59.2. So those are the numbers that the legendary Thomas and his Acceleron have to beat to be better. So I will swap these out. I'm gonna run this again. I'll be back with you in 45 more minutes. We'll talk about how the Resin version performed. That took a second. So do you think we did it? Do you think that Thomas was victorious? Well, the room temperature this time around was 20.4 degrees. The average temperature after the run was 79.9. So that gives us a delta of 59.5 versus a delta of the Noctua of 59.2, which essentially means that they are equal. I mean, yeah, maybe you could say that this one did slightly worse, but you could probably run the test again and it might flip-flop. I mean, they're so close that it's really, to me, they're pretty much even, which is impressive given the amount of time that Thomas said he spent on that. Remember what he said, 30 minutes? But either way, I think it's awesome. It was fun printing it out of resin. Hopefully if I get a larger format resin printer, it would make printing fans a lot easier in resin, but we'll have to just wait and see. For now though, if you want to get involved in the Fan Showdown, make sure you send me your fan designs to thefanshowdown@gmail.com. And if you do something really amazing, could be a product. Wouldn't that be crazy? I'll see you soon.